autopsy that was done on Nolan Wells?
Yes, I think when we last spoke, we were awaiting the forensic autopsy because the original autopsy performed by the county examiner, we just weren't convinced it would be independent, quite frankly, because we weren't getting enough information from law enforcement. And so the forensic autopsy came back. And lo and behold, even though they're trying to downplay it, and I understand Ben Crump and NAACP and others don't want to try and jump to conclusion or step too far out, but the forensic autopsy showed that there was what they call discoloration. No, I call them bruises in the back of the head, appearing that someone has had their hand pressed at the back of their head, at the back of Nolan's head. That's concerning to me.
New evidence in this Nolan Wells murder is probably the biggest piece of confirmation that something really, really, really bad happened to Nolan. So Warren, who's one of Nolan Wells' supposed friends who rode out to Horn Island with him, he did an interview, and during this interview, he revealed something that kind of lines up everything else that we've heard since then. Now, what he says is a direct contradiction to Warren, who's one of Nolan Wells' supposed friends who rode out to Horn Island with him.
Who's interviewing him? Who's the interviewer? Did you see who that was?
Yes, Officer Tatum. He went down there. He went to get to the bottom of it.
Of course he did.
He fights for white justice wherever there's trouble.
Yes,
he heard some whites in trouble. Right, whites are in trouble.
Officer Tatum.
That's what he does. He saves whites.
That happened to Nolan. So Warren, who's one of Nolan Wells' supposed friends who rode out to Horn Island with him, he did an interview, and during this interview, he revealed something that kind of lines up everything else that we've heard since then. Now, what he says is a direct contradiction to everything they want us to believe about Nolan Wells.
Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat. We're leaving. The boat's having issues. And no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but it's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And Nolan made a decision.
He looking at him like Oprah. He looked at him so lovingly. He loved white. He's like, this good white boy couldn't hurt anybody. I'm damned if I let this white boy, if he can save just one white life,
it would make his millennium.
And I did my job. If I can just save one pure white angel, one pure.
Son, cut it out, son.
White, pure as the driven snow, this boy. He's a good boy.
Stay out on the island. It's not like we just left him there, or my friends just left him there. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island after my friends asked him multiple times and told him to get on the boat, and he decided to stay.
And I heard the girl that he was with, Katie, had text somebody that she heard people yelling for Nolan to get on it. Is that true?
And I have a picture of that. She texted.
I thought he was going to try to disparage her. You know, they always try to sully someone's name. I thought he was going to, I heard the girl he was with a slut, and he was a gangster.
None of that was allegedly.
He's like, I'm not a gangster. She's not.
She heard people yelling for Nolan to get on it. Is that true?
And I have a picture of that. She texted my buddy, and the next day, everybody was panicking, and everybody's texting Katie, because she was obviously seen with Nolan the whole day at the island. Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day and said, this is the last time I saw him, he's really sweet. But she also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat.
They're telling this story as if, by the way, it confirms their story. It's actually the contrary. Now, he said this before the audio got released, and the audio is horrific. The audio confirms to me something real.
This is what made me want to react to this video. I said, yo, I'm going to hold this and wait for my brother. Listen, y'all, I want y'all to pay close attention to how this unfolds. I've been watching the story on the outside. I'm sure my brother has too, but we haven't done any reactions to this at all.
And there's nothing funny about it.
Because there's nothing funny about what's taking place. But this was just had me really, really, it was curious. I feel like a sleuth.
No, he's a mystery sleuth.
Detective Flacco will crack the case.
Really, really bad happened to Nolan. But he said this as if this is a confirmation and not a debunking or contrary to his story. If you're saying, hey, we left Nolan on an island, we don't know what happened to him, and our proof of this is we see Nolan cradle up with Katie in his arms. And we was calling Nolan over to get on the boat, and Nolan said he's staying, and Katie can confirm this. And then Katie says, according to you guys, Katie confirmed to you guys the last time she seen Nolan was when y'all was calling him over. Well, she wouldn't say that if Nolan stayed. If the last time Katie seen Nolan was when y'all was calling him over, that would imply that he went over to you guys. Katie even told the family that Nolan told her he was riding home with his friends and he had to go. Your very story confirms exactly what we suspected, which is Nolan went on that boat. Now, y'all called Nolan over at 3 p.m. Y'all was still on the island for an hour and 30 trying to figure out that boat situation. So we don't know what took place in that hour and 30. But clearly something is not sitting right. And this audio made me lose sleep last night, man. Now, the audio is of the 911, well, not 911 call, but of the emergency call that Wyatt made to the boat operators or to some type of subscription that help people who are stranded on boats. So Wyatt made a call and the operator picks up, and my God, you start to hear something very dark and grim from the beginning.
Connected.
They don't realize the AI operator already started recording because they believe they're waiting for somebody to pick up. They believe they're on hold waiting for a human person to come and assist them.
Now, to me, that wasn't so clear, right? But it's more than that. But to me, that wasn't so clear. And remember, their story is he never got on the boat with them.
Whose voice was that?
They don't know whose voice it is, but it's the people on the boat when they called this emergency thing. They said they were taking in water and they needed an emergency, and they called him. But they claimed that Nolan wasn't on the boat with them. He stayed on the island with the girl. Remember that? Remember they said that earlier. He stayed. That's what he said. The alibi is Nolan. They told him, "Come on, Nolan."
Right.
And Nolan stayed with the girl. But the girl was like, I remember him saying, "I gotta leave with my friends."
Yeah, the last time I saw him, he was gone. He left with them.
And then they said it's a 90-minute gap between when they had called Nolan to when they pushed off to the water.
So they're talking freely, waiting for this human. The AI operator is recording everything. So that's where you hear, he's dead. Oh my God, he's dead.
Maybe.
Connected. CISO assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey. They were not aware that was already being recorded. So they get to speaking freely. The operator picks up. Now everything changes. Everything changes. So they're panicking. Oh,
how does the autopsy say he died? Has there been an autopsy on him?
I believe so. They said some parts of his body was not parts of his body, like his vocal cords was missing or something like that. Please don't let him breathe.
So, pull this up here. Wells, he conducted and presented this report on July 19th, 2026. Report this morning. The manner of death undetermined pending investigation. Statement of examination. This forensic pathologist was retained to perform a second autopsy examination on the body of Nolan Xavier Wells. Name of decedent, Nolan Xavier Wells. Age, 18 years old. Race, black. Gender, male. Date of death, unknown. Second autopsy date was performed on July 10th, 2026. Preliminary findings, and this is significant. Focal area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region. He said the etiology is unknown at this time. He said the body was received after the initial autopsy. He said the body had marked decomposition.
Decomposition, nigga.
Son,
You're a lawyer, for God's sake.
Son,
I'm so sick of this dude stuttering through these words.
Man,
Why the black lawyer gotta be like this?
I don't know, man.
This is bullshit.
It's Benjamin Crump, man. You know he gonna
Mush mouth at this, all that meant to get mad and silent. What happened to him? It's fucking disgusting, man.
be cool, son.
The body had marked decomposition.
Decomposition, I believe.
Corona incision of the scalp, brain removal, Y-shaped incision of the anterior torso, and he talked about the organs being removed, as is common.
People screaming for that?
Yeah. Son, imagine that's your cousin or somebody, your folks. They saying he's reading this aloud in public
and fucking it up.
Okay, man.
It's goddamn worse, yo. You already dealing with all this. Now deal with this stuttering ass
attorney.
Being removed, as is common. Accompanied in the body cavity. And that when you have an autopsy, the organs are removed from the body and they're dissected and examined. And
who is this? How is this helping the case? What does this do?
Son,
then they're put back.
I'm going to AI now. This
nigga frustrated. Nah, son, it's Benjamin Crump, man. With anytime there's a black political issue going on, he is the new Al Sharpton. He the new Johnny Cochran.
All right. The preliminary report for the private autopsy also noted an area of red discoloration in the back of Wells' head, but the report does not draw conclusions as to how the red discoloration occurred. Losing a child, it truly breaks your heart, Christine Wansley said Wednesday conference. Let's see in AI mode. The independent autopsy of 18-year-old Nolan Wells revealed that his cause and manner of death are still undetermined pending further investigation. The preliminary findings from the private autopsy, which was conducted by forensic pathologist Dr. Roger Mitchell, was released on July 22nd, 2026, highlighted several critical details and key limitations. Red discoloration. The examination found a noted area of deep red color discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of Wells' head, the occipital region. Pathologists noted it could be post-mortem decomposition, change, or a result of blunt force trauma, marking it as a finding that requires further investigation. So that's somewhat interesting. Apparently there were no fractures, no apparent bone fractures, lacerations, or deep tissue injuries were observed on the body. Okay. Foul play, although foul play has not been ruled out because the exact circumstances of how Wells entered the water is unknown. The independent report states that foul play and non-accidental factors cannot be ruled out. Missing organs and neck structures Because the state medical examiner had already performed an initial autopsy, several body parts, including the brain, internal organs, lungs, airway, and internal structures of the throat, had been removed. Retaining these parts for deeper laboratory testing is a common forensic practice, but their absence left the private pathologist unable to check for signs of strangulation or directly confirmed if water entered the lungs from drowning. It's a lot of things that just not playing out. And they also said it was a lack of toxicology. I sound like Benjamin Trump now, but I'm not a lawyer. Anyway, he wasn't drunk enough.
Son, ain't nobody going to jail for this. Ain't nobody going to jail.
I don't know. It seems like the whole town is in
It's
in cahoots.
If nobody, unless somebody comes forward and tells, if they all like, yo, he just drowned, we don't know what happened.
Right.
Nobody's going to jail for this. Nobody's going to be,
All right, back to Flacco.
God, no. Hey, operator, everybody on mute. But they still let a couple things slip through. Now, what proceeds to follow is one of the strangest calls I've ever seen in life. This is one of the strangest calls I've ever witnessed in life. You've never seen anything stranger than this before.
We're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
All right, well, let's get you going. Membership number or phone number listed on that account, sir?
I don't know the phone number. It's either Jerry Atkerson. I think it's Jerry Atkerson. Try that.
All right.
I know we have a membership, like guaranteed. I don't have the tag on
unless you have a membership number or anything, it's okay. I'll get you over to the captain. What's the best phone number to reach you at?
Reach me at 2.
All right. And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's
How many?
Somebody says, I thought he was, and then it just like drowns out. So we don't know what that means. I could have 20,000 different theories. Y'all leave me a 3. What do you think that meant? This is...
I don't even know what happened. It sounded like it was a fight.
Son, we
Somebody.
get process elimination. How many people was on the boat? Who was on the boat? It couldn't have been that many.
Listen.
where it starts to get really strange. The operator begins to ask very direct questions, and they begin to act like they don't know what she's saying. They begin to half-answer questions that are very convenient. Like, for example, she says, yo, is everybody on the boat and in good health? He says, yeah, everybody on the boat. Okay, what about the good health part?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not even the strangest part. It's about to get really, really weird.
All right. Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
What?
Do you need the United States Coast Guard?
No, we do not need that.
All right.
These aren't even the weird parts I'm talking about. You're going to hear the weird
That's a cover up. But that right there, all that is incriminating.
Yeah. No Coast Guard. Check his chest. I heard that. In the beginning, it was a little hard to hear. I clearly heard check his chest.
Yeah, we heard the first part before they thought that they when the AI was recording, but before they thought a live person picked up. We heard what was said then also.
shortly. But even with this, somebody's saying check his chest after we heard somebody says, yo, he's dead. Nolan, oh my God, Nolan, check his chest. The lady says, y'all want the Coast Guard? No, absolutely, no.
They did something to him. And they had a chance to save him too, it sounded like.
Maybe.
Fight happened, somebody knocked him in the head or something like that.
Maybe.
And then the motherfucker was kind of out of it and they just dumped this nigga over.
Maybe.
That's what it sounded like to me.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We don't know.
Yeah, well.
That was the most hard, no Coast Guard. Why don't you want the Coast Guard out? And you're about to hear, like, the people that they wanted to come out, they're unavailable. So the next best people are the Coast Guards. But they must rather drown than to have the Coast Guards come out. Because the people they want to come out don't really have authority in anything. The Coast Guards are different law enforcement. The Coast Guards will come out
Not damn near, they police.
Yeah, they are. Or the C's.
Yeah, they gonna check what's going on this joint. What's happening?
Right.
And get to investigate and get to prowling around. No, why don't you want the Coast Guards out? If the people who are supposed to assist you can't even come up. But at the end, you get to hear they called for no reason. Right? Because his grandfather would admit, hey, we don't need help anymore. Sorry. So they wasted about 14 or 15 minutes on that phone call, I think, trying to establish an alibi, because towards the end of the phone call, after they were begging for help, the grandfather says, oh, no, they don't need help. Don't send nobody.
All right, looks like you're on hold.
So the grandfather was on the boat too?
But wait a minute, let it play out.
Phone call, after they were begging for help, the grandfather says, oh, no, they don't need help. Don't send nobody.
All right, looks like you're on Horn Island, correct? Are you
Yes,
on
we are
Horn
at Horn
Island?
Island. Yes.
All right, is the boat sinking or you have it aground?
We were sinking, yes.
Is it aground is the question?
No, we're not aground. We are in
Okay.
17 foot of water. We're in 31 foot of water.
All right, have to ask. What do you want to do? Do you want to be towed back?
I want to get this boat unsank and towed back, yes.
All right, where would you like it towed to, sir?
You can tow it to Ocean Springs Harbor, or Fort Bayou launch.
All right, how many adults and children on board?
No, there's no children.
So, is there anybody on board? How many adults, sir? That was the question.
You're about to hear an answer to that question that will make your mouth drop on the floor. It will literally make your mouth drop on the floor. Because, hold on. You answered the children question very quickly. How many adults and children? No children. Okay, how many adults? They begin to hesitate. They begin to panic. They're panicking so much, he says something just absolutely stupid. But I don't think this kid is dumb. I feel like what he said is out of sheer panic because he didn't want to share the real number.
So, is there anybody on board? How many adults, sir? That was the question. Hello, can you hear me?
Mind you, it's not a service issue because we can hear everybody else in the background. So it's not a service issue. Oh, no, he hears exactly what she said. How many adults on board?
You breaking up, huh?
I'm in the tunnel right now.
Huh?
Can't really.
What that got to do with anything?
It's not funny, man.
He doesn't say nothing for a while, and then he responds back with the dumbest possible answer.
So, is there anybody on board? How many adults, sir? That was the question. Hello, can you hear me?
He trying to count.
Try to jump in and pull the plug, Bart, while you're going.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Yep, I just need you to answer these questions so I can get you over to the captain.
Okay.
How many adults on board?
There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody
right.
here.
If you really on a boat that's sinking,
We can hear 3 different voices in the back.
right? What you do is you turn. What we got? 1, 2, 4, 5. It's a real quick thing.
Logically.
If there's an emergency, you answering these questions quick. You hear what the hell she said, drunk or no drunk. What are you talking about?
Nobody's going to jail for this, huh?
Is over the age of 21.
There's not a person in America. There's not a person in America, probably not a person on planet Earth, who don't know what an adult is. An adult is anybody over the age of 18 in America. Simple. That's what an adult is. So the fact that she asked you, how many adults on board? Oh, no, there's nobody over the age of 21 on board. That's because you are avoiding and refusing. You don't want to answer.
Yeah, he don't want to take a head count because he may have to switch the story later.
Oh, facts.
He needed to be flexible.
Right, and
Once he
account for Nolan.
Yeah, he needed to talk to everybody and see, should I say he was on the boat, or should I say he was never on? You know what I mean? He had to leave it flexible.
The question, bruh. You don't want to answer the question because Nolan is what, 19? Everybody on board is like 18, 19. So you are doing everything in your power to not answer the question. Looks like your girl asking you, hey, bruh, did you go out last night and cheat? Man, I went out last night. Well, did you cheat? I ain't cheat on my diet all week. Huh? Wait, what? That's not right. No, you're answering this question being deceptive. It's really that simple. And I'm looking at this like, yo, why is it whenever something comes out, It's always something sketchy with it. Now, I understand if we're just being super analytical, super looking into it.
Right.
But even the person who's like completely in the middle and neutral and not biased, can you hear this call and tell me this is a normal?
It don't sound suspicious.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Let me ask you a question. Let's flip this. Let's say Poetic Flacco and a few of his friends are on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
They all black, right? I'm just using this example. Somebody pops up unalive on that boat. Do you think they're going to let them all go? Especially after a call like this. Do you think they're going to let them all go? They going to jail. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. Y'all don't talk.
Till somebody say something to
right,
something.
What happened here? Oh, y'all don't want to say nothing? Okay, well, you gonna be in a holding cell until we get it straight.
Not in this little town of Mississippi. One of these boys,
yeah, and
mama's
they,
a judge.
We hear they people got juice.
Yeah,
you know, some of them, their parents are attorneys, judges, what have you.
This is a Netflix special.
It may be.
Can you hear this call and tell me people are not being deceptive in this call? Can you hear this call and tell me this is how normal people answer questions?
No. Especially not in an emergency. You're supposed to be taking on water right now. You answer them shit quick.
You need help.
How many people are here, guys? And everybody start yelling. 1, 2, 3, 4. You understand what I'm saying? If it's an emergency, people act quickly.
So we heard the slurs in the back. Dump those side. Throw that.
That's not. Heard a splash.
Right.
Nah, that's not funny. That's fucked up.
Board none. Huh? What? Whoa, nobody on board? Nobody over 21 on board? Can you just answer the question they're asking? Oh, but it gets worse. It gets worse.
Adults on board.
There's 0 adults on board.
There's nobody on board the boat?
No. Nobody here is over the age of 21.
Sir, that was not the question. Is there a person? Is there a person, a living individual on the boat?
They got scared.
Hello?
Bro, you heard what she said, bruh. And you can respond, you heard.
Did they say thump and dragging sound?
Yes.
We can only imagine what might be taking place.
And it's not like the service went out. No, because we're hearing the background. If we can hear the background, then you can hear her. If we can hear the background, then we could have heard you. So you're not saying anything. Man, you heard her, bruh. The question caught him off guard. Is there any living person on board? He probably felt like, next question they're about to ask is there any dead person on board? So that question caught them off guard. And I'm sitting back like, what went on? Because we heard from multiple people. We heard from. There was a fight of some sort. Now, they're all claiming Nolan was not a part of this fight, but they all said the fight is why they wanted to leave in a hurry. They began to pack up and leave. They said immediately after the fight is what made them want to leave.
Yeah, he got hurt in that fight. The autopsy has a spot that could or could not be before he passed. Right? Soft red spot.
The back of the head.
He's missing this part.
Something in his throat.
That the piece that could have been examined to determine whether or not. And this is the preliminary autopsy. Apparently there's a more in-depth one coming up, but this has been removed. So the private, person.
Tell if it was strangulation or
right.
or it was crushed.
I don't know. It all just seems very convenient.
Oh no, ain't nobody going to jail for this. Ain't going to jail.
I don't believe that fight did not involve Nolan, man. I'm telling you guys right now, I just don't believe it, bro. Now, if a fight occurred on the boat, wouldn't that be the reason why the pump is destroyed? That's just my theory. I don't know. But we don't have to have the answers. We are not the ones that was there. All we can say is something isn't adding up. And we need answers. Now, he eventually gives a head count and he says 7.
Is there a living person, someone breathing on the boat? Is there anybody on the boat?
Yes, there's lots of people breathing on the boat.
All right, how many people, sir?
Like 7.
All right, thank you. Does everyone have life jackets on or available to them?
Yes, we have life jackets available.
All right. Verify what boat's sinking.
A Triton, 22-foot offshore, 22-foot Triton offshore sea flight hull.
All right. All right. Please hold. I'm transferring you to the local captain now.
Okay, thank you.
This is Captain Seth.
Hi, Captain Seth. This is Vicky from International. How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. I apologize ahead of time. I really do. You're going to have a fee-for-service come up under Jerry.
Okay.
It sounds like a bunch of kids on board on Horn Island. He's letting me know that his father's a member, but he can't give me any information. And he's saying the boat is sinking, and he's on Horn Island. It's just unfortunate. He's just a kid. There's a lot going on. So he said there's about a lot of people on board. He says he thinks about 7. I'm guessing they're all under 18. And I'm not trying to be rude. He wants you guys to go out there and unpump the boat and then tow it in.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton.
These words ain't the same as what's going on. I'm tripping.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what kind of boat it is?
He said a Triton 24-footer, but that's all he can give me.
22-footer.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just actually got off the phone with his grandpa, who I'm guessing is the owner of the boat, and he said that Jerry. Yeah, he said.
Okay.
I just hung up with him. He said that they don't need any help right now, but if something changes, he'll call me back.
So what was the purpose of them? What was the purpose of them calling then?
That's the cover up.
If they're in a,
that's the cover up.
Yeah, Papa was like, "You called what?"
Yeah, I got it.
I got it.
I got it. Look, yeah, be quiet. Get off the phone with her. I got it.
Right, dump that.
Middle of an active emergency. The grandfather is not on the island. The grandfather is not there.
Yeah,
they called him.
They called him.
They called the grandfather. The
Papa was like, "This is what you do."
Yeah. Be quiet.
Don't say
He
shit.
on the phone with who? Get him off the phone with her. I got
phone.
this.
Yeah.
Grandfather, what's going on? The grandfather says, man, y'all better not bring any authorities over there. So then what was the purpose of this call? Why were they on the phone for so long, quote unquote, asking for help, but not answering any questions to get them help? But the grandfather is talking to the actual people, and they said, man, like, don't need help, bro. Like, you good.
Phony alibi.
Grandfather guilty too.
Yeah, he helped.
Yeah, he guilty too.
That's not strange to y'all? You don't want the answers to that? See, they've done multiple interviews and they've answered every question in the book about Nolan's race, about the parents, about Benjamin Crump, but they don't answer the pivotal question, which is, why is everything so sketchy and sus and strange when it comes to you guys? Why can't y'all just give us straight up answers? Y'all ain't answering questions about this though, but y'all gonna answer questions about, well, did you know Nolan Wells was 25% Asian?
So he was 25% Asian. What's that got to do with anything?
Nothing at all.
I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments.